If you haven't been convinced before, let this be the video to convince you everything will sell. Hello everybody, my name is Margaret and welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the things that have sold lately on Etsy and eBay for profits. Things that I've picked up at garage sales, estate sales, the Goodwill Bin Outlets, thrift stores, all over the place, just wherever I can find stuff to sell. And I spent about $22 on the things that are in this video, and I made about $412. And if you're new here, I would like to welcome you. I'm a homeschooling mom that flips things on eBay and Etsy to help support my family. And if you haven't yet, go down there and hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified when I put out new videos about selling online to make extra money. Now my goal is to make about $200 a week from eBay and Etsy, so I did really well this time, making a little over $400. And let's dive in and take a look at what sold, why I picked it up, my thought process, and what kind of money I made on it. All right, let's dive in. So these two TDK 8mm tapes I picked up in the bins at the Goodwill Outlet. So they weighed next to nothing. I mean, they were pretty light, definitely not a pound. So I would say maybe 50 cents was spent on them. And these sold for $9. Not bad. Probably about a $6 or $7 profit there. Next up, these are some tapes that I have compiled from picking things up at garage sales here and there, and I just kind of had a stash. I finally decided that I need to just list these as a lot because I wasn't getting enough of any one kind to really just list them, or some of them weren't they wouldn't sell for quite as much by themselves. So probably about, some places I would pick them up for a dime, a quarter, so maybe about $1 or so spent on these. And this lot sold for $29. That's a really good profit. At least $25 profit there. So next up was this tie bar, which, as you can probably tell from the picture, I've had for a really long time. The picture's not amazing. And I probably got it in a lot of other tie bars, and it sold for $9. So, I mean, the profit there is probably not a whole lot, seeing as I've relisted it so many times, but, maybe a good $4 or $5 profit. I'll take it. Next is this set of utility forks. This is expandable. You fold it up. What do you call it? What did I call it? I don't even know. Expandable forks and stuff. With a little carrying case. I got these in the outlet as well at the Goodwill Bins, and it sold for $15. So, and they sold pretty quickly too. I was a little worried because I couldn't find any just like them up on eBay, and so I worried that Cool Gear was one of those, is it V-Road brands that you're not allowed to sell, and it turns out it's fine. I just didn't see a lot of them up there. Maybe because they're kids' silverware, they just get so banged up that nobody tries to resell them. I don't know. Anyway, so they sold, but probably, I don't know, probably at least a $10 profit there. Next, I sold this Alaska hat, and this is one that I got at an estate sale. There was a whole bunch of different hats for $1, so I bought this for $1, and it sold for $30. So probably a good 25 in that range profit on this baseball hat. So if you're not picking up hats, you might think about it. Next up, another set of Maxell tapes sold, and these are ones that I picked up for $1, and these sold for $28. So I've had a nice little rash of sales on audio cassettes lately. I think I've actually sold them all that I've had. And I have a few extra that I haven't listed yet, but I don't have enough to make a new lot with them yet, but might be thinking about listing your new old stock media like this, tapes, cassette tapes anyway. Now I remember when I got this wallet, I plucked it out of the bins and I was so impressed that it was still there. I was really surprised. It was a really nice leather wallet type billfold style, like long billfold style, and it actually had the name of the brand. I had to really kind of look to figure it out, but it was called Leaders in Leather, and they sell for a lot of money, their purses and bags and stuff. So it's this really pretty tooled leather wallet. I'm just still surprised that it was still sitting in a bin. It wasn't even a new bin. It was one that had been sitting there for a while. So got this in the bins, and it sold for $19. Took an offer on that, and it weighed next to nothing. So probably a good $15 profit on this wallet. And next up is another wallet that sold, and I can't remember where I got this, so I didn't have an inventory note on it, but probably at a garage sale, I'm thinking, is where I got it. But it sold for $18. So 2 wallets sold this week. That's pretty good. Some more tapes sold on eBay, and these ones sold for $30. So I spent about $1 on all of these. It may have been a quarter a piece, so maybe a $1.50. But for $30, that's still a good $25 profit, so not too bad. Now these I almost didn't list. And I'm so glad I did because they sold pretty fast. There were others that were up there. These were sealed though. Red Flipper brand playing cards. I got these out of the bin. Again, just thinking, if there's something, because they look kind of vintage, the style. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll get them. I don't see Flipper brand very often. So I picked them up. And when I started researching them, I saw some others up there and it just wasn't that impressive. But I thought, well, I mean, I've already got the pictures taken. Might as well just continue with the listing. Listed them. They sold for $10. So for something that I probably paid, I don't know, a quarter for, that's like an $8 or so profit. So that's really good. And before I move on from this, I think this is also one of those moments where it's perceived value because the other ones that were up there weren't priced as high as mine. And I thought, you know what, if I'm going to go to all this trouble to list it, I'm just going to go ahead and put a price on it and just put a best offer and see where it goes. And it still sold. So there's something to be said for that perceived value, because I get that question a lot, like, how would you know to list it for more than what you see on the eBay solds? And I think when you're going through, if you've got really good pictures and maybe your price is a little bit higher, then somebody might, I mean, even though they can see that your item is the same thing, if the other person's pictures aren't as good, or or they've priced it so low, you start thinking, is it just junk? What's wrong with it? There's something psychologically that happens to people where they're like, I think this one is a more reputable seller. The pictures look good. The price seems more like, I don't know. I can't describe it. We need to have like a psychology teacher come in and explain the whole thing, the process from what happens to a buyer's brains with that perceived value. And this item I just listed recently as well. It's a Lucky brand Tree of Life bracelet. I picked it up at Savers for $3 and it sold for $25. I saw a couple that had been up there, I think on Poshmark. I think there was a sold on Poshmark or something like that. And I thought, okay, well, I didn't see a lot of them. So anyway, $25, I'll take it. And so with $3 spent and approximating the fees and all that, it's probably a good $15 to $17 profit in that range. I'm about to switch over and show you my Etsy sales. And my sales on Etsy, these items were also listed on eBay, but when it sells on eBay, I take it down. And yeah, so let's take a look at what sold on Etsy. So first up, I don't love this picture, but it's a really cool Art Deco style ring with just kind of a crystal in there. It's a really pretty ring, but I got this in that $500 lot of stuff that I got last year, and this ring sold for $42. Next up, this wooden accordion peg, rack holder, coat holder, whatever you want to call it, sold for $25. I love picking these up. I have a box of them sitting at my feet that I need to list because I think this might have been the last one I had up. I'm pretty sure. So I've got a number of them that I need to get up there. This one sold for $25. I had another one that sold recently that got returned because it was missing something off of it. I think we already talked about it. I don't know, talking about it. Anyway, this one sold, so I do need to get the rest of them up. If you've got them, go ahead and list them. And I know people, again, they say, how are you getting $25 for these? I see them listed and they're only up, I see sold for $5 or $10. And how are you getting $25? I'm telling y'all, perceived value. Also, list on Etsy. You got to cross post. I mean, people on Etsy tend to buy things and they're willing to spend a little bit more. So take those good pictures, focus on perceived value, get them cross-posted. If you're not on Etsy, I've got a link down below for 40 free listings. So what is stopping you? You can start for free. Okay, there. This is something else I got in the bins, and I listed it, but then I was like, how am I going to describe this thing? It's like a cup, and it's got like indentations on this side, and I was really worried, like, how am I going to describe this so the person looking for it is going to find it? Now I'm like, oh, I should have thrown the word denim blue in there because it's kind of got that denim look to it. But oh well, somebody found it. They bought it. Again, my bin's 20 items, 20 breakables for $1.99. So this was maybe like 10 cents, and it sold for $15. And I didn't know exactly, like, is it just a cup or like a toothbrush holder, so I threw it all in there. Pencil cup, toothbrush holder, mug, no handle mug. It was a cool piece, and I thought, for 10 cents, let's see what we can do with it. But again, get those good pictures, y'all. And I will link if I remember to do it here. If not, I'll link it in the description. One of my videos for taking pictures with your phone. I use my iPhone. So I sold a lot of jewelry, and this is all like, not all broken, but broken, missing pieces, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Some of it was wearable, some of it was missing a stone. So it was kind of a mixed bag, craft lot, wear, repair, what did I say, repurpose. And so I spent $3, but it was just sort of like a hodgepodge of like everything being thrown together from different lots and jewelry jars that I got, that I was like, I don't know that I'll list this by itself. That pink piece, that diamond shape or kite shape piece with the tassel, that probably would have sold by itself. So there's a few pieces in there that probably would have sold by itself. But for the most part, I was like, okay, let's make this lot. And we did it, and it sold for $25. So good deal. Good deal. And it's weeding out some of my excess jewelry. Need to make more lots. So a while back, I did a video with one of my kids where it was a $5 challenge. We went into Savers and tried to find something for $5 or less that we could flip on eBay or Etsy. And this was the item I walked out with on that video, these amber earrings. And they sold really quickly. So I wish I'd listed them a lot sooner. I paid, I think it was $3. Let me look down here. Yeah, I paid $3 for these at Savers, and they sold for $20 very, very quickly. So Amber's a good seller, though. I tend to see, anytime I get amber listed, it sells pretty fast. And I've got videos on amber. If I remember, I'll link it down below. If not, search my channel for how to tell if amber is real. I think it's called something like that, like how to test amber to see if it's real. I think I have a couple videos on it, actually. Okay, and this one, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I made a little like video clip of this. This sold, woohoo, it sold. When I got it, I said, what is it? I don't know, but I'm getting it because it was weird, right? When I see something that I have no idea what it is, and it's this beautiful green color, then I bought it. So I got this at a local charity shop. I paid $5 for it. The reason I justified paying $5, which I don't normally spend that much on items unless I know I'm going to make a good profit, was I thought, you know what? If it's not worth any, I think it's so cool, I would just stick it on one of my shelves. And then I was like, oh, you could put like succulents coming out. It could be like a planter. I had no idea what it was. But it turns out it's a phone amplifier. So basically what would happen is you would stick your phone in this end, and I guess that's like a little, so you could put your plug through it. I don't know. And then this part works like an amplifier where it sends the music or sound out. And cool, but it was too wide because I have an iPhone that was pretty wide. So it was too wide for my phone to fit in there. But I thought it was really cool. And it sold, and I'm so happy that it sold. It sold for, ready? Drum roll, please. $63. So I spent $5 and was able to flip it into $63. And that is a major win in my books. So I want to hear from you. Leave a comment down below letting me know what your best sale was lately. And thank you for those of you who are going down there and leaving that comment. I really appreciate it. I know some of you will do it. So that phone amplifier was really funky. I want to hear from you. What is the weirdest thing you have sold? Thanks so much for taking time to watch my video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.